Back in 2020, I found myself having to take my teaching studio online. I think we all know why. One of my requested lessons was a melody harmonization of a Jimmy Buffett classic, Margaritaville. I thought I would share that lesson with you because a lot of people told me it was really helpful to them. It's a little long, but I'm going to provide the tab in the video as well as a Google Drive link to the full tab. I'll also provide chapters so you can skip around to the most relevant part for you. Oh, also, it was 4 years ago, so my hair may appear a little darker. So let's travel back in time. Margaritaville is in the key of D, so we have a D chord, a G chord, and an A7 in the song Margaritaville. For Margaritaville, because we're in the key of D, the melody is based off of the D major scale. In the D major scale, we're going to play this D here on our B string, which is the 3rd fret. But then all the other notes are going to be on the 1st string for the melody here. So I have D, then open E, F sharp, and a G. We have A, we're going to keep going, B, and then we have a C sharp, and a D. So the melody for Margaritaville all utilizes that scale from D here up to D at the 10th fret. So using that melody, we're going to harmonize it. Okay, now one way we can do that is in thirds. So I'm going to show you a couple double stops first. If I want to harmonize that scale, I have D and an F sharp. Those are called thirds because the distance from D to F sharp is D, E, F sharp. Those are 3 away. So to harmonize the D major scale, I'm going to get these 2 fingers out of the way so you can see better. I have D and F sharp, which is just 1 fret away. These are 2 frets away. Next one, 1 fret away. I can keep going. So there I took the D major scale, but I harmonized it in thirds. Okay, and actually Margaritaville, the melody doesn't really go up to that F sharp there. We're really still only going to be going up to that D. So we're going to be using some of these double stop thirds, but we're also going to be using some chords. The D chord, we're going to use this D, but we're also going to use this D up here at the 10th fret. It looks like an F chord, okay, but it's going to be D since we're way up here. Now I'm going to utilize my open D string. So that is a D chord there. So these are the 2 different Ds that I'm going to use in Margaritaville. I have this D, and I have this D. I'm going to use 2 different G chords. I have this G, or I can pick up my 1st finger and mute that 5th string because I really don't need that. So here's a G chord, but I also have a G chord that looks like a D shape up here at the 7th fret. So I have this G chord, and I have this G chord at the 7th fret. Those are the 2 different G chords I'm going to use. I'm going to use 3 different A chords. I have this open A chord. Okay. I'm going to use this A chord. Again, it looks like an F shape. I'm at the 5th fret. I can play this A, and I can utilize my open A string. So that's an A chord. But then I also have an A chord here at the 9th fret. Okay, it looks like a D shape again. It's a D shape, but here at the 9th fret, it's called A. So I have A, and A. Okay, and the last chord I think that we're going to use is going to be this A7, which I'm going to play it with the flat A here and the G on top. Sometimes I'll use my pinky, so I may use my 3rd finger for that G on top or my pinky on top. Either way, we have an A7. So those are basically the chords that we're going to use. So for the introduction, again, I'm just using thirds. I'm using this 7th fret F sharp and the 5th fret A. Okay, so for the introduction, I just moved it down one whole step. So I got, then it does it again against the G chord. Then when the band moves to the A chord, I have. Okay, so that was just part of my harmonized scale that I did earlier. Okay, now, so the melody of Margaritaville, we start with Nibbling on Sponge Cake. Okay, actually it starts the same kind of as the introduction. I have this F sharp and this A. The melody is Nibbling on Sponge Cake, watching the sun bake. But I'm going to harmonize it here using thirds or double stops. So I have Nibbling on Sponge Cake, and then watching the sun bake. Okay, all of those tourists. Okay, I go up to the 8th fret and 7th fret. All of this tourist covered in. Okay, now I go to A chord. Now for this chord melody, I have to make sure my melody sounds up on top here. I have a chord, but I really want that melody note to come out. So all of those tourists covered in oil. I have an A chord, my melody's there. Covered in oil, and then strumming my 6th string, I'm going to go to this A7. Okay, I have this G melody on top, strumming my 6th string, but I'm going to put this A chord below it. Okay, I have to pick up that G for the F sharp. Strumming my 6th string, strum. Then on my front porch swing is the same phrase. Okay, now I have to go back to this A because I have this A note on top. Smell those shrimp. We have. Here I had to lay down my pinky on the B, or the 7th fret, for the melody. Smell those shrimp. Back to the A. There. Now I have a G note on top of the A. I have an A chord. And then a D, but my melody note is this D here on the B string. So I can only strum up to that D. So smell those shrimp, we have an A shape. Smell those shrimp. A7. And then I have a D. Okay, at this point what I did was I played a D7 as a passing chord. It's not really the melody, but I have the chord. And then I went to this E in my bass, to an F sharp. I can do it with my thumb, I can do it with my 2nd finger. So I have a D7, G, still just a passing chord. If you're finding this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. It's free for you, and that way you'll always know when I post a new lesson. Okay, so this takes us to the chorus. So I have D7, E, F sharp, G. Now I go up to this high G, wasting it away. And then A, wasting away. Back to this A7 again. Now I have a D sus4, because the melody is a G note on top of this D. To a D. Again, my melody here is this D note. So we have G, wasting away. A7 again in Margaritaville. And then I have a D sus4, Margaritaville. Now I have a passing chord again, D7, up to a G, melody, searching for, to an A shape, to a D chord. This time the melody is the F sharp on top. D7, here's G. Some people say it goes to a G to an A. So I take this G, some people say, so now that's G to A. Some people say, at this point I did a single note, that there's A. So I have an A note at the 10th fret, I have a B note at the 12th fret, and a C sharp at the 9th fret. That there's A. So I have G to an A. Some people claim that there's A. Okay, now I have this high D. I'm not going to use this part of the F shape because I want to utilize that open D string. So we have woman to blame. So we have a D chord, just one of those, to an A. Okay, I'm going to pluck that F sharp I have right there. So I have, the melody goes A to F sharp. So I have, whoops. Okay, so I have a D, 1, 1, 2. Now I have a G chord. Okay, G on top, F sharp on top to a D. So that phrase was a D, 1, 1, 2 to a G chord. Now I have this high G on top. Now I go just to a standard A with an E melody note. Now I have a G on top, F sharp on top, E on top, to a D. I can't play the first string of the D because my melody is that D. Okay, so from the beginning, I'm going to play it again. I'll do it real slow. So the intro. That was the introduction. Now we have the melody, nibbling on sponge cake. Nibbling on sponge cake. A, A7, back to A, D, D7 passing to a G, suspended, G, passing chord, G, D, A, G, A, A7 on top, okay. So that's a little harmonized melody using Margaritaville. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, my name is Barry Clevenger from Clevenger Music Studio, and hope you all have a great day.